All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Straight Red Football Channel. You're here with Silent K, you're here with Dills, you're here with O-Guns, you're here with Bells as well. And mate, it's been a mad weekend. This episode is going to be flipping flames, blood. Yeah? Certain men are going to get put on the chopping board in this episode, yeah? But before we get into that, we're going to jump straight into the Straight Red, blood. And my Straight Red...
Straight Red's first today.
Do you know what?
Straight Red is first today, yeah?
It's first. No, because we need to actually like really deep what's happened this weekend, bro. Straight Red. My Straight Red, yeah. Do you know what? The thing is, this week, man's got options, cuz. Man's got options out here, cuz. Yeah, but you know what? I'm just going to stick to my own one, innit? Straight Red is Manchester United for multiple reasons, blood. Yeah? The first reason is I think this transfer window is probably the biggest L in football history, blood. And what I mean is in terms of forget the 6-1. That's the second L, by the way, but forget the 6-1. In terms of the brand of Manchester United, yeah, Manchester United is the Real Madrid, the Bayern Munich, the Juventus of the UK, blood. Not anymore, bro. This club has conducted itself. Yeah, it's been happy. It's not an isolated. It's not an isolated transfer window. But the way this club has conducted itself, the embarrassment, blood. And do you know what? When man should have really deep how embarrassing this club is. Do you remember the reason why De Gea didn't go to Real Madrid, blood?
Proceed.
If you're dealing with a professional organisation, blood, yeah. And the club is like, hang on a minute. In the last minute, our fax machine broke down. That should tell you everything about how Manchester United is run. Do you know that? The fax machine is the reason why this multi-billion company, bro, yeah, didn't get over the line. But you know what? We're going to go deeper into this conversation as we move on, innit? Bells, because I know you got a lot to say and I know you got the time running out. What's your Straight Red, cuz? Because man already knows.
Have we lost him?
I think he cuts out.
Liverpool. All 11 of them. All 11 of them. Straight Red.
It's the Straight Red special edition episode.
It's a Straight Red special edition. Yeah, so all right, cool.
I don't think we'll get past the Straight Reds, to be honest.
Yeah,
we just talk about Reds, fam.
Do you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we just had to lose Bell's internet connection and that, bro. So yeah, all right. Do you know what? I'll hand out a second Straight Red then on behalf of Liverpool, bro. The second Liverpool was in the Liverpool got turned over by Aston Villa 7-2. Yeah. Now, some people would say, just like the United result, some people would say this Liverpool result was coming. And do you know what, yeah? I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from the Liverpool fans, but you know what? I don't even give a damn right now, bro. In terms of Liverpool, if you check Jurgen Klopp, yeah, I've been saying this to people, bro. Jurgen Klopp is the master of controlling the narrative, blood, yeah? And what I mean by that is he understands that if there's a certain mindset against your club, it can have an impact in terms of like people will approach your team differently, innit? So what I mean by this, yeah, is whenever teams, I've said this to a couple of people before, whenever teams sit back against them and cause them difficulties and maybe play long ball over them or long range passes, he comes out at the end of the game and he says, we're the only team that came to play football, blah, 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 blah. And he does that because he's forcing other teams to sort of like, he's basically putting pressure on other coaches and other teams to come out and play football against them. And when they come out to play ball against them, it puts Liverpool in an advantage because his tactic is the Gengen press. The Gengen press. Okay, cool. If you check how aggressive he was to to come out against Roy Keane, and Roy Keane highlighted that you might have been sloppy lately, but you got the result. He came out aggressively to stop the narrative, that if you put certain pressure on these guys, you're going to get chances, innit? Cool. The week after, what happens? They get turned over 7-2.
Not even a full week.
It wasn't even a full week. The week after, they get turned over 7-2. And I know some of man at home are thinking, what the hell is Sean talking about narrative in it? So I'll just give you another example, When Arsenal, when unbeatable, the Invincibles, and no one could beat them, and then he came up against Man United, and Man United stopped the unbeaten run. Man United's tactics that game, really, Man United should have got a lot of red cards, but Man United's tactics that game was they flooded the midfield with 3 in midfield, and then they played really, really aggressive against Arsenal. Really aggressive, and they got the result. From that day onwards, Sam Allardyce would roll up with Blackburn, Bolton, Stoke, all these teams. Arsenal could not. Basically, the narrative became: if you rough up Arsenal, you're going to get the result. And literally from that day, that reputation is still with Arsenal Football Club. Still with them. It's still with them. So this is what I mean by the narrative. The narrative is very, very important. If your team gets found out, it could be a problem. But listen, it remains to be seen if this is going to be what's going to happen with Liverpool moving forward. Let's see if maybe Klopp might adapt. He's a top coach. But listen, I know a lot of people are going to have opposing views to what I said. But well, boy, I mean, you know what? We're still on the straight red topic, innit? So you know what? Deals, what are you saying? What do you think?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, in adding further to what you've been saying, I mean, me personally, I think I'm looking at Liverpool and I'm thinking it doesn't really, to me, the way they kind of set up at the start of the season, it doesn't really look like a team that is looking to kind of carry on going. Now, when I say that, I mean, they've won the Champions League, they've won the league, but Klopp hasn't received no backing this season in order to improve the squad. It's very difficult to win the league twice in a row. Not a lot of teams come and do that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So once you've won the league, the next season's always going to be very difficult. Remember, now you're the champions. So everyone wants to beat the champions. Even these new teams that get promoted, if they go back down again, at least they can have solace in the fact that, okay, we beat the champions on the way down. So every game is going to be difficult now for Liverpool. I just feel like, I look at the youth setup as well. They haven't really got youngsters coming through. I just think, what happens when Salah and Mane goes? Who are they going to replace them with? Are FSG or whoever's controlling them? Are they going to back Klopp or whoever's the next manager involved? I'm looking at that team and I'm thinking, this looks like a side that's on the decline. Now, looking at the results from the start of the season, Leeds was very, very unlucky to not get a point there, and it was just a sloppy penalty, which I'm sure they've been fixing up on because Leeds have looked a lot more solid. But I mean, the Chelsea game, okay, then we had 10 men, so they was up against 10 men for 45 minutes. It's going to be very difficult for any team to play against Liverpool for 45 minutes with 10 men. Like, let's just have it right. So it's understandable that they'd have the control. We look at the Arsenal game; they conceded in that game very early. Yes, they pulled it back, but they conceded very early. And now you look at the Villa game and you think to yourself, this is a team that survived relegation on the final day. Yeah? And you think that team has now come and beat you as the champions 7-2. Like, to me,
You know what? Listen, I don't want to Villa. Obviously, Villa deserved the result, by the way. Like, it was like, there's no, like, they got lucky. There's none of that. Villa, full on, deserved the result. But also, it was always a tricky game going into it, because, if you check Villa's record, not just this season, but Villa since the turn of when the teams came back from COVID,
the Project Restart.
Yeah, Villa have been pretty tough to beat. I think they've only let in 12 or 13 goals in 12 games. For a team like Villa, that's not bad. When you can look at Man United, they've just let in 11 goals in 3 games.
13 on Sunday.
Say that again?
I said you and Liverpool letting 13 on top.
Exactly, bro. So yeah, so I don't know. Like I don't know. Like if you're saying it looks like this could be it could be the end of Liverpool, or whatever. I don't know. I just think. I don't know if it's an investment thing. I think it's more of a just like a tactical thing, like how the team plays, isn't it? And maybe this system might have been found out. But boy, I mean, they were shaky after. Liverpool was also shaky after the lockdown as well. You know what I mean? They started when they came back. There was
probably a bit shaky before that.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying?
They lost to Watford and Atletico Madrid.
Exactly.
Even that Bournemouth game was a tight one, to be fair.
And they got knocked out by us as well.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. But 7-2 is a lot still. It's a lot.
It's not good. I mean, again, my thing is that this is a team that's going for the title, that's supposed to be retaining the title, and it's up against a team who they're going to be happy if they survive relegation this season, and they're going to put 7 past you. I don't know, man. It's for me. It looks like early signs of what's to come, really. And
like I said, when you're looking at it tactically, yeah, what Villa kept on doing is like literally they were sitting back and then pinging it in behind Trent and Robertson, pinging it in behind Trent and Robertson, and then when Grealish was bringing it down, it was like a problem because he's already 1 or 2 passes away from setting up one-on-ones, bro. Like he's literally, it was the same tactic. Boom, boom. Liverpool with a high line. Boom. Through ball. What's his name? Watkins run onto it. Like, and do you know what the joke thing is? It could have been 11. It could have been 11.
It could have definitely been 11.
Easily.
Because Villa missed Barkley, Watkins one-on-one. Who hit the bar? Someone hit the bar.
Watkins hit the bar.
Bro, it could have been 11 because, and that's not even being like, I'm not even mocking. It could have been 11, and you kind of, like I said, this could be a turning point, and there could be a new narrative and teams. And I said it before. I had a video when I was ranting about Manchester United, and I said this year is going to be very tough for Man United. But what my whole point was is that there's a lot of teams in the league this year who are pretty good. So. Yeah, man. So Liverpool retaining it, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be one of the toughest leagues to ever retain, in my opinion. But Guns, man, what's your straight red this week?
I'm not going to lie, I might have to give it to Ross Barkley for some of the misses because we needed a few more goals in that game. But you know what? Everything that's happened, man. Do you know what? I'm going to have to probably give it to Harry Redknapp.
I
was watching Deadline Day, and he said that he thinks it's likely Spurs can win the league or something along those lines. Look, I've got nothing against Tottenham. Actually, I kind of do, but my point is, everyone always knows that guy can't even pay his taxes. So I don't know why he's trying to all of a sudden say that Gareth Bale, who's come back to the UK about 9 years later, I don't see what's so different about Spurs this year compared to previous years. And I still think their midfield is lacking something as well. And Ndombele now is the saviour because he's had one good game against Man United. Fair enough. Oh, and the game before he got the assist. All right, fair enough. If you say so, Harry. But yeah, he even sent Jamie home early because Jamie just disappeared from the studio. So I'm going to have to give him my straight red. In terms of Liverpool, my point, I think it's only 3 points. It was a shocking result. I'm never going to play that down. But I think it's only 3 points. I think saying they got found out, well, it wasn't their full strength team, which is one thing. That doesn't excuse 7 goals, but it wasn't their full strength team. And I think, yeah, it will be a bit more difficult this season. But even if you say Liverpool's not going to win the league, Man City conceded 5 the week before, and then and they drew with Leeds as well. Man City's a shambles. Who's going to win the league then? It might end up being Harry. Might end up being right. Like so.
Bro,
you know what I mean? So
you know what? Like, do you know what? Yeah, like I said it before, bro. If Bale is 80% fit, that front three is
they've got a Mourinho
mad team,
and they've got a Bell. They've got a Mourinho. They've got Bell.
I'm not convinced.
There's 2 winning formulas right there, man.
You say that,
Harry
but again,
Kane. They've got Harry Kane, the 20+ goal scorer.
Bro,
what about the defense?
No, okay. Check Tottenham during this window, bro. They've made some shrewd signings, yeah. pretty shrewd. Obviously, they've got the left back, Reguilon.
Defensively as well.
They've got
Doherty on the right.
Højbjerg. They've
Cheap.
got I swear they've got a backup striker. Ain't he the top scorer in the Portuguese league or something?
Yeah, they just signed him just now, like Carlos Vinicius.
Yeah, so like they've been crying out for a backup striker for Harry Kane as well. Obviously they brought in Gareth Bale, and obviously that's a gamble. So we're going to see how that pays off as well. I don't know, man. They've been shrewd, man. They brought in obviously backup keeper Joe Hart, and a lot of it is about mentality.
Lie, Joe Hart.
No, I hear you. Joe Hart has fell off hard. But I'm talking about the mentality, bro. It's about mentality.
Where was Joe Hart before this game?
Man was in the woods, bro. But what I'm saying,
I swear he went to Burnley or something.
I think he's at Burnley. But what I'm referring to is mentality, bro. It's about mentality. He's obviously won the Premier League before. It's a mindset.
He might have won the Premier League before, but he's also and he also went to Man United and fell flat on his face, bro. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I still don't think Spurs. I think in the middle of the park, even with Højbjerg, I still think they're slightly weak, and I think definitely defensively they're weak. Who is it going to be? Alderweireld and it's not even. Did he even play last game?
Sanchez and Dyer.
Bro. Sanchez gave away a penalty in like 20 seconds, fam. And Dyer, he's unlimited liability, bro. Like, let's be realistic. This is the first time they started playing him centre back. Every time he plays centre back, something happens. Like, it was a good result they had against Man United, but as far as I'm concerned, it's going to take a lot more to convince me that Tottenham are even remotely to be taken seriously. That man, the best thing they ever do is finishing ahead of Arsenal. Like, come on, man, that's bottle job mentality, bro. If anyone thinks Mourinho's going to come in and change that all of a sudden, I don't see it, to be honest. And I think I'll give it a few weeks before he turns half the dressing room on him.
Yeah, you know what though? Do you know what? I just think this season is open season, bro. It's open season. Anyone who gets a little string of results together, it's open season. It's going to take a long time as well. And remember, this is a unique season as well. Like, obviously, it's a COVID season. In terms of pre-season, there's not really much been any pre-season. I don't know. There's no fans in the stadium. It's a mad season this year, man. It's going to be different. So I don't know. But yeah, well, Spurs are Spurs, innit? Yeah, they have got a history of being a bottle job, but let's see, innit? I don't know. They look pretty decent to me, innit? They look pretty decent.
I think the other issue is Europe. Because when everyone comes back from the break, it's going to be it's basically Europe every week. Literally, it's like European football match every single week. Because they got to get it done by Christmas, right? And we're ready. When we come back, will be late October. 6 weeks from that, that's almost Christmas. So there has to actually be a European Champions League game or a Europa League game every single week. That's a lot of midweek games. Like, that's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of squads. Like, I think. Even Man United, we know they're quite thin on the ground anyway, in terms of maybe squad size. Especially, I'd probably say maybe more.
That group for them is a group of death.
Fam, listen,
that is a group of death for United.
When they did them fixtures for Man United, they said they want Ollie out of his job, bruv, because the way I was looking at that it's PSG. It's like Newcastle, PSG, Chelsea, Leipzig. It's just nonsense, bruv. It's just nasty. Yeah, it's just nasty. All of it. They want Ollie out of his job, bro. They want him looking like this.
If you look at it, I'll actually go through the fixtures now, bro. So when Man United, listen, this is peak, bro. When Man United come back on the 17th of October, they got Newcastle away. Yeah, so that's St. Maxim. Yeah. They've got
and
Wilson. Yeah. Then they've got PSG away. That's Neymar and Mbappe. Yeah. Then they've got Chelsea at Old Trafford. That's man like Havertz, yeah. They've got Pulisic, yeah. They got RB Leipzig. Then they've got Arsenal on the 1st of November. Do you understand? And then if you want to even take it one step further, on the 7th of November, they got James Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin away. Yeah. So like now I want to speak about United now, innit? So let's kind of like switch back to pivot back to United, innit? Right. So for me, because there's just a lot to talk about when it comes to United. Firstly, okay, let's stick to the whole fixture list thing, yeah. and let's just talk about like the immediate problem, or what I think is the immediate problem. And that's how the team is obviously performing on the pitch before we get into the bigger picture in it. So in terms of how the team's performing on the pitch, yeah, like I think this is what I think in it. People are going to have other opinions, but this is what my opinion is. I think that what's happened here, and I've said it before, that Solskjaer's trying to transition, yeah, from just sitting back and counter-attacking to trying to impose his whatever his philosophy is on the game, isn't it? And it's not working, bruv, yeah? The team that he's playing, yeah, the 4-2-3-1, and the personnel that he's putting in particular positions is leaving the team exposed, bruv, yeah? So it was all good when you were sitting back, and then you can counter-attack again with Rashford and Martial and them, man. And it was all good playing that tactic. When you're defending your 18-yard box and man's are crossing it in and Harry Maguire's heading it away because he's good at defending his 18-yard box, or Wan-Bissaka's being attacked by Raheem Sterling and Wan-Bissaka's winning 100% tackling, it's all good when you're sitting back. But now that you want to, now you obviously you signed Bruno, and now you want to like play higher up the pitch, bro. I personally don't think you've got the coaching to impose whatever your philosophy is. And what I think here, looking at this fixture list, yeah, and looking at the transfers, and this is because I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt to say that there is some sense behind the transfers, even though I don't think there's any sense behind the transfers, but I'm just going to try and give it some benefit of the doubt. Looking at the fixtures, yeah, I think he is going to revert back to a counter-attacking style of football to save his job, because he has this knack of when his job's like, when it's getting peak, he'll come up against big teams and he plays this counter-attacking football. Yeah. What I think he's gonna do, and I'm looking at it, yeah, I think, I could be wrong, I think in the next couple of games, he's gonna change to a 3 at the back. Yeah? Whether it's gonna be a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, he's gonna play Harry Maguire in the middle, and he's going to put Luke Shaw at the left of a back three, and then that Alex Telles is going to play left wing back. And I think that's what he's going to do. And they're going to kind of sit back, and they're going to be counter-attacking teams. And even though we're looking at these fixtures and we're saying it's peak, I think he's going to nick a couple results by playing counter-attacking football. I think he's going to nick. He's
going to be up front because Martial's banned for 3 games.
Yeah, he's probably going to go with Cavani and Rashford, Cavani, or they're going to play Cavani and Greenwood or whoever, bruv. But what my point is that he's going to sit back, because if he's only a fool, yeah, he's going to persist with the same system and personnel that he's using to play the system in the next run of fixtures, because. If you think that Brighton game, Man United got piped by Brighton, blood. People forgetting we got piped by Brighton. They hit the ball like 100 times, bro. Yeah, so this is been coming. Man United getting opened up. Listen, when you talk about people like Harry Maguire, yeah, listen, you're telling him to push up to the halfway line, yeah, bro. The way the team is set up, you're one through ball, bro. If any of us are free. If any of us, man, in this group, in this chat now, yeah, was to play in a soccer aid game, and we was playing against Harry Maguire, and he was playing up on the halfway line against us, man, I would say, hey, Junior, play the through ball, blood. Man, you're leaving. Every one of us in this group is leaving it. Every one of us in this group is leaving it. So what I'm trying to say is, and also the time when people were getting gassed with Harry. Okay, let me not be a hypocrite. When we signed Harry, I thought it was a good sign, innit? But man was finessed just like everyone else, innit? When you look at when we signed Harry and when the hype was, his hype came off the back of the World Cup, innit? And off the back of the World Cup, England was playing 3 at the back at the World Cup. Yeah? So with Harry at the back in the back 3, he looks kind of protected. I look at Harry Maguire a bit similar to how I look at David Luiz. Yeah? In the back 2, he looks really, really dodgy. In the back 3 with cover around him, he could probably ping a few passes and start to look a little bit better. And I think what's going to happen is Solskjaer.
I think Luiz is better, bro.
No, Luiz is a better baller than him. But what I'm saying is in the context of it, though, you can see what I'm saying. Like if they'll play Harry in the back 3. They'll protect him. They'll put Luke Shaw to the left of him. they'll put, I don't know, someone to the right of him, then they'll put the wing backs. And Solskjaer, though on paper he looks like he's going to get sacked by the 1st of November, he's not. He's going to nick a couple results. And that's just my opinion. And then the second thing I want to talk about is the actual transfer policy. You ask again, were Man United really in for Sancho? Yes or no? I don't know,
no
man.
policy at Man United.
There's no policy. There's no sense.
Winging it.
They're winging it,
Them
bro.
man have no. Listen,
What's the term going around? Freestyle FC, bro.
Like, how are you gonna say? Oh, and I saw certain Man United legends, or actually Zaha is not a legend, but whatever. Zaha and some people coming out saying, "Oh, buying Cavani's a masterstroke," or getting Cavani's a masterstroke. He's been free basically for 8 months. Like, he's been hanging around. Everyone known he's been available. No one wanted to pay him his agent's fees or the money. But Man United, again, they don't want to pay for Sancho. They've gone out and bought this wonder kid, supposedly for 40 million. I don't see the logic, and it's like Man United, they don't fill in the gaps that they need. You know, Man United is moving like the way Arsenal used to move. Arsenal knew they needed a DMF. They'll go out and they get a striker. And they did that for like 5 seasons in a row, bro. I remember all the time, Arsenal needs a DMF all the time. Because everyone knew, as you said, their midfielder's weak, it will get pushed over. They couldn't do nothing. There was no enforcer. And instead, they go out and they buy strikers, they go out and buy wingers, they go out and buy all these things and not what they need. Man United seem to be doing the same thing. Whether it's Van der Beek, people are saying all this stuff. People are saying he's cover. I don't know what he is, but it feels as if, although Man United need a bigger squad, the positions they're filling in, they're not even making their first team better. It doesn't make any sense.
But who's responsible? Who's responsible? This is the question. Is it Woodward and co? Is it a list of names that Solskjaer's given, and is it Solskjaer has no say? And this is what this is another thing I'm saying as well, bro. If he has no say, yeah, because also I want to speak about something else as well, yeah, because I've heard something today. So I'm going to put a disclaimer on it, yeah, because I don't know how reliable this source is, but it's come to me via a friend of, that is the most hilarious image, blood. That has come to me via a friend of one of United's players, yeah, or group of friends of one of United's players. So what I've heard about this Bruno Fernandes incident at half time, yeah. So the detail I've heard is that obviously everyone's heard the same thing, that he went in the changing room and he batted up Harry Maguire. But apparently the actual detail is he was actually going at Luke Shaw at first. When he was going at Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire stepped in to kind of like deflate or whatever the situation. So then Bruno Fernandes started going off on Harry Maguire. This is allegedly, yeah, started going off on Harry Maguire, saying, like, what are you doing? You're not even a worthy captain. You're making far too many mistakes. Apparently, he said Eric Bailly puts in more effort than you in training. Apparently, he went off. Apparently, he was speaking all in Portuguese. He's going off.
I was going to say,
and then Fred and Mata were the ones who had to calm him down. And because he was going off so much, that's when Solskjaer was like, no, like, this is mad, like disrespect and whatever. You're going to have to stay in the changing room with Martial. And then that's when he subbed him. So, and then what I'm also hearing through this, I don't know how reliable the source is or not, once again, disclaimer, I'm also hearing, so remember, this might be coming from a player at the club, yeah? I'm also hearing that some of the players are disillusioned with Solskjaer, yeah? So,
shock.
Yeah, shock, you know, exactly. So, bringing it back to the point of, is Solskjaer getting the players he wants, or is he responsible for transfers? Is he not responsible for transfers? I don't know. Maybe Woodward and co didn't want to give him the players because maybe they don't see him long term. It's I don't know. The thing is, nobody knows what's going on at Man United, and the club is a mess. It's top to bottom. It's a shambles, bro. And
I agree.
It's a shambles, bro. A complete shambles. I don't even know what else to say, bro. It's a shambles, bro. The club could end up being AC Milan, bro.
you'd say they didn't want to give Mourinho the players later on because there was a time he actually wanted Maguire and some other people he didn't get them. But I don't think it makes any difference. Like in the grand scheme of things, we all know Edward is not going anywhere. I think anyone who really believes that Ollie is the guy that's going to make Man United great again is high. I don't think there's anything more to it than that. I think anyone who honestly believes that Ollie is the guy that's going to make, but he has his little spells like he did towards the back end of last season and when he first took over. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to lie. Watching My United game, this guy's always sitting down looking at the iPad. Like, big man, stand up, talk to your players, bruv. Like, it's not even like
the Sky Go
in the stadium.
You're watching the game on Sky Go.
You know what I mean? Delayed on Sky Go.
You might as well be in his yard.
Man, always sitting down, and I don't think sitting down is a bad thing. But I've seen Roy Hodgson standing up more than him, and he's like 8 years old. Like, stand up on the touchline. The top managers are all standing there talking to their players, saying,
"Yeah, at least
saying
be on the touchline. Like, what are you doing sitting down in the chair?" Like,
man, if you're watching on, go on.
I see Carrick down there sometimes, but Ollie, the only time I see him standing up is when after the half time when he's shaking the manager's hand or when he's taking the knee, bro. Other than that, he's always sitting down. Like, I'm just confused, bro. If you wanted the best seat in the house, big man, you're a Man United legend. They would have given you a season ticket.
It's a mad thing. Listen, and speaking of Man United legend, yeah. So if he is a Man United legend, and if he is not getting the support that, you know what I mean, if he is given a list of names and he's not getting the people he wants to impose his style of play, yeah, then he needs to be open about it and resign. He needs to resign, but make a public statement, basically out in the Glazers, out in Woodward. If he does that, at least he gets some respect, and then he can give more of an insight into what is actually going on.
Wow.
Because for me, if he carries on like this, sorry for my language, yeah, because I know there's going to be a lot of man who's upset about that. Sorry, disclaimer. But forget what you did in 1999, blood. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's getting to that point that as it goes on, more and more people are going to forget what you done in 1999, bruv. Yeah. So all I'm saying is he needs to just, if this is the case, if he has, because the things I'm hearing are mad. I cannot believe people saying this manager has no say in transfers. But if that is the case, he needs to come out, resign, yeah, and say something. Louis van Gaal spoke of his chest. Mourinho spoke of his chest. Bro, you apparently love the club. Speak with your chest, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Solskjaer knows where he's ended up, bro. If he comes out and talks, bro,
you know what I mean? And the other thing as well. Sorry, because I know I've kind of rambled on this particular one. Yeah. The other thing as well, like when I'm telling you about pain, blood. Yeah. Patrice Evra summed it up for every Manchester United fan, bro. That look of pain, yeah. That look of pain, literally, I could have cried, blood, because I was thinking to myself, like, this is the absolute bottom, bro. Like, this.
It's not.
This no. This is. Do you know what? You're right. It's gonna get worse. Yeah, it's gonna get worse. But for me, right now,
PSG could give you 8, bro. PSG could give you 8, fam.
This is the lowest right now. Yeah, and like I said, once again, it's because from top to bottom, it's just embarrassing. The club is not conducting itself like professional. It's so poor, like across the board. They're not ruthless. There's too many buddies going on. Man's are shook to drop players. Man's are shook to sell players. Man's are offering stupid contracts to everyone, to players who don't even play. Like, it's mad. The club is a shambles, blood. But you know what? It's long.
I mean, one thing I don't understand about this whole Sancho situation, because from you lot was interested in Sancho around the same time we was interested in Havertz, or even we was interested in Sancho, and then obviously we couldn't go for Havertz and Sancho. Obviously Lampard wants Havertz. We've gone that direction. So you lot are literally in the clear running now. You're in the clear running. No one else can afford even anywhere near that in this pandemic, other than Man City. He's not going back there. So for me, it was just like, not really a lot had to be done. Dortmund already kind of said what they wanted and said it straight up. The same way that Leverkusen said to us how much they want, and they said it straight up. For me, I just feel like, I don't know if like speaking to people, and there was that whole kind of arrogance kind of thing of, we're United, we're not going to get bullied into transfers and da-da-da-da. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not saying that was Man United's attitude, because I can't obviously speak for whatever their planning was. But for me, it's just like, if that was the stance that they was taking, and if that was partly the reason of why they didn't go for Sancho, for me, it's like, I understand pride and all that stuff, but for me, business is business at the end of the day. And if you're trying to improve your squad, if you're going out for a top target, it's going to cost top dollar, innit, at the end of the day. I think you should have just paid what they wanted. Maybe not give them exactly up to 100 mil or whatever, but, give them that 90, 85 mil and add-ons or something. Like, not dance their tune, but you want the player, innit? You want Sancho. Go and do what you have to do. We wanted Havertz. We didn't want to spend 90 million on him, but we had to do what we had to do to secure that. And I just feel like, I don't know, man. For me, I just feel like, I don't know. Now you've gone and ended up with Cavani, Tejas, some next unknown. I don't even know the other two guys that you signed. And I just feel like,
you know what? You know, the irony is, Man United actually, in terms of like their youngsters, they signed 11. Do you know they signed this window? They signed 11 like real top prospect youngsters. So it's quite funny that they put all this investment.
That's future planning. Future planning.
They signed 11 of them, and apparently these are like all meant to be quote unquote wonder kids. So you have to wait and see. But in terms of like the first team, like I've said it before, I argued the case. Would signing Sancho have changed everything? Would signing Sancho have prevented 6-1 in the back of the net, bruv? Would signing Sancho have prevented Harry Maguire getting, do you know what, missing head? What I'm trying to say is, could that money have been used better to invest in the squad? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. But the thing is, I remember, I think you lot bid for Sancho like 90 million recently, and I'm just thinking, this is like Arsenal with Suarez when they bid 40 million and £1 or whatever. Like, bruv, if you want to pay the P, they told you what they want. Just pay the money or just don't do it. It's just a bit embarrassing. To be doing this. A little bit beneath the money. Like, we're not and the problem is, because of what's happened in the past, to some extent, I can see that they said, you know what, we're after what happened with Maguire. We need to make a standard show. We're not mugs. The problem is, the results on the pitch at the moment are just not living up to it. And I also think, I'm saying this as a Chelsea fan, and to be honest, we didn't play very well against Palace, really, attacking wise anyway. We obviously won. Defensively, we were a lot better, but even we're probably still not out of the woods, but we got a good result and it takes a bit of the pressure off. You didn't. So I can't really make it out like I'm talking from the top of the mountain that we're on fire and we're doing, basically what we need to do. But I just think...
I'm fuming, but yeah, so...
Well,
it's just... Anyway, I don't know what's going on in my head, but...
You know what?
The longer it goes on, the better.
This guy. Let's quickly reflect on the results of the weekend then, yeah? So, once again, like you said, Chelsea 4-0. So, obviously, Chelsea boys, how you guys feeling? Let's start with Dills.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, it was a positive reaction to the last fixture against West Brom and to the Spurs game midweek as well. I think we needed that. We definitely needed that win. It's a derby game as well. So, obviously, it goes out the window of whatever ground you're at, who you're up against. It's a London derby. It comes down to spirit. And I feel like the West Brom game, we had to dig deep to come back from 3-0 down. But then I feel like the Spurs game as well, the way that we kind of started well and ended bad, I feel like mentally, we had to win that game against Palace. And I feel like the 4-0 win made a statement, and I feel like it's brought confidence into the lads. I honestly think that. I think defensively we was a lot better, as Ogun's mentioned. We looked a lot more solid with Silva and Zuma, and Chilwell as well. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of Chilwell, innit? And when we signed Chilwell, I was not happy. I wanted us to go for a Grudon. I wanted us to go for Tejas. I wanted us to go for another left back. Any left back. Don't bring in 50 million Chilwell. But from what I've seen of him, I'm not gonna lie, I've not really got anything bad to say at the moment. I think he's added something. He's added another dimension to the left side, which we was missing. And I just feel now, if we could just crack on from here. I saw Pulisic come back as well. He looked lively as well. He looked sharp, and that was good to see. Now we just need Ziyech back, get Werner back in the middle, and maybe he can get his goals going. I want to just quickly just mention something, because at the moment people are kind of, there's whispers kind of, Werner, is he not all he's cracked up to be? Like, I think
kick him out the fantasy football team, blood.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, he's getting dashed out of fantasy teams left, right, and centre. It's like, for me, what people need to understand is Werner got majority of his goals playing through the middle, and at the moment, Lampard is not playing him as a number 9. Dude. Lampard's got him playing down the left to try and bring that speed, that pace down our flanks. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So at the moment, he's got Werner out of position. He's got Tammy playing through the middle, and the way that Tammy plays, it doesn't suit Werner in a front three getting goals. So for me, it's just like, I think we need to get Werner back in the middle of the pitch where he's effective. Isn't
Werner a bit of a
No, I know what you're about to say.
Isn't he a bit of a like, in terms of, isn't he someone that needs to be running in behind? Doesn't he need space behind? So is he not going to struggle? Is he not going to struggle if your team's not creating chances, like in terms of through balls? Is he not going to struggle if a team's playing deep, sitting deep against him?
Why? He can shoot.
Okay.
And he's smart. He can play his 1-2. I think the problem is that, no offense to Tammy Abraham, he's just not that good. And he's not that quick. He's not that strong. His finish is not great. Like, honestly, I don't even understand what Lampard sees. To be honest, I don't understand what Lampard sees in a lot of things, but I honestly don't think Tammy Abraham gives Chelsea Football Club enough. I think in a tight game, being realistic, he won't be the one that provides the breakthrough. I think it's highly unlikely. I don't think his touch is good enough. His ability to stay on side, to make the right runs, like
his belief as well.
All of it. Like when you see Werner, like when he makes them runs from deep, you can see the thought process and the way he makes the run from out to in. But Tammy Abraham, he just doesn't get it. Like, he's very basically, I think he feels like he's king of the mountain. I think because last season he was Chelsea's number 1 in quotation mark striker. But bro, you're not that guy, bro. Like, you need to do a lot more to be that guy. And I think he thinks he's made it, like a lot of English players do. I think he thinks he's made it, and he hasn't. And he hasn't signed a new contract with us, and hopefully he doesn't sell him to someone. Even Ollie Watkins look better than him.
Yeah.
In fact, let me not say even, because Ollie Watkins could do some damage, bro.
He could come back.
Say even.
I mean, for me with Tammy, I like Tammy as a player, like, because I think in the back room, I feel like he's got character. Like, he's one of the man them. I'm trying to say, that gets along with everyone and So you need those kind of guys in your dressing room, because that's what keeps that family unit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But okay, we're talking on the pitch now, especially in the big matches. I feel like he gets almost starstruck. It's almost as if it's like he's looking at defenders he's up against, and he's playing like, oh, I'm up against like so and so, I'm up against like Van Dijk, and I'm up against Otamendi, and these are guys that last season I was using them on FIFA, and now I'm up against them live in the top, and it's like, we need you in those games. We need you in the Man United game when we're 2-0 down and we need our striker to finish those chances. We need you in the game when we're losing 2-1 to City and we need that little something from our striker. Where are you? You're non-existent. And I just feel like now Lamps has gone and got a number 9. So to me, you've gone and looked for a striker and you've gone and replaced him. Why are you now trying to squeeze him in with... I don't understand.
Nonsense,
he was phased out last season. It's clear to see he was phased out. Giroud started.
And now why is he back?
And now you brought him back in. And I just feel like he doesn't play well with Werner. That's clear to see. When he plays, Werner has to stay out wide, and Werner wants to come inside, but he has to stay out wide. And it's like, when the significant thing for me in the Spurs game, so I just want to touch on that, was yes, the Emerson substitution for Chilwell, that killed us, but also the shape changed when we took off Giroud and brought Tammy on. There was no longer that focal point striker that was getting the ball down, trying to bring Werner and Hudson in, trying to run. There wasn't that player no more. Now we had Tammy, who was as deep as everyone else, trying to receive the ball from deep, trying to get involved with play, get involved in the game when we need that focal point. You've moved Werner out wide, so we now need that vocal, and it's just like.
But you're saying move Werner out wide, bruv. Werner plays out wide a lot. Not like in terms of for Germany, for Leipzig, he's not always through the middle. Like, and the reason, right. and I'm thinking to myself, is it because there's sometimes he comes up against opponents that are sitting deep, so he needs to move out wide to get more on the ball?
That's fine. Henry used to do that.
I just think the pace that he's got, it suits him. It suits him, that style of play. Once he's coming in on his right foot, and he can smash them as well. I think if he gets that, if he gets in that position where he can lace it, and I feel that's kind of how his tactic works. But with Pulisic and Ziyech, he's not going to have to drift that far out. He's not going to have to drift that far because them guys are going to be out there filling them flanks. So is
Werner, okay, so let's say Chelsea's first team, yeah, in terms of the offensive bit. So with Ziyech, Pulisic, and Havertz behind Werner, I'm assuming, yeah?
It has to be.
Yeah. So are we saying that you can pin it into Werner and he's gonna hold up the ball?
You may not have to.
I don't have to. Okay. I think it's gonna be more of a slot through balls, Pulisic running in, or Ziyech cutting in, or
into the box. Yeah, running, balls whipped into the box.
Yeah, balls whipped into the box.
We'll just overload the box. I think we'll just overload the box. Man City do it, and so do Liverpool. Just overload the box. The strikers aren't tall.
Well, in the Palace game, if you look into how he was playing in the Palace game, you could see a lot of that. You could see there was a lot of our players just swarming their box and just bombarding their box. And I just think when we get a little bit more quality in there, like better balls are coming through, better through balls are being made, and more pacier balls and more trickier balls, I think, it's going to be problems.
All right. Another question for you is that obviously, because we kind of want to bring it back to transfer talk as well. So obviously, it sounds, I mean, from what I'm hearing, Chelsea fans are pretty happy with their business. But in terms of your outgoings now, Loftus-Cheek, Ross Barkley, what's your thoughts on that as well?
Higgins.
I like both of them, to be honest. I really like Loftus-Cheek, but obviously he's not been performing when he's played more recently. Barkley, I like Barkley as well, to be honest. I think sometimes he does a few dumb things, but maybe does, turns in the wrong area of the pitch or stuff, and his finishing could be a bit better, as we saw on Sunday, but I think he's a good player. My only issue is more, these guys are gone on loan. One of them's going to have to go because we know Lampard loves Mount, like Mount's his long lost son. And we've only got so many positions, so they can't both come back because they can't both play, especially with Havertz. Like, one of them's going to have to probably be on the bench most of the time. So we can't. So one of them's done, basically, where I see it. Who would I want it to be? Honestly, if Loftus-Cheek can get back to how he was, I would want it to be Barkley. But if Loftus-Cheek can't, I guess it's going to have to be him.
I think Barkley's going to do a mad thing at Villa, though. I think
him just watching 50 million.
Watching him and Grealish together it's actually good to see, bro. How's the Villa manager showing England coach how to use technical players, bro? That's another discussion.
Southgate don't know what he's doing, bro.
For me, I just feel like we had too much players in that position. Loftus struggled to get games last season, and we didn't even have the squad that we had now. So I feel like for Loftus, he kind of, and he's talking about he wants to get an England squad and whatnot, so he kind of had to make some move. He had to take any team that was looking for him. I think I understood that Villa wanted Barkley or Loftus, but obviously I think they more favoured Barkley. For me personally, I wanted Barkley to stay. I think I like what he adds. If he's happy to kind of play that squad player role. I like when we bring back Barkley on. I like the energy that he brings, and like Junior suggests, sometimes he runs himself into trouble. I hear that, but at the same time, sometimes the game's flat now and no one's not really doing nothing. You need a man that's still running, even if he's running into nowhere. You need a man that's still running around doing nothing. Like show something. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I wouldn't have minded Barkley staying, but at the same time, cool, he had to go as well. I feel like it's just made the squad a lot more kind of. The starting 11 should be a lot more concentrated now. There should be a lot less tinkering. I want Lampard to just kind of find his starting 11 now and just roll with that. Like Klopp has his starting 11. Like when you're a top side, Bayern Munich, I'm sure they got their main 11. Like when you're a top side and you've got a top setup and you're ready to go, your team. There's one or two man that will come in and around and will feature at some point, but your team. And yeah, I think that's where we need to get to now.
All right. So, so a couple of other key results that happened this weekend. Everton beat Brighton 4-2. James Rodriguez with 2 goals. And he got an assist as well, isn't it? He set up Calvin Lewin. These men are on fire right now, 100%. Only team... Hang on, Villa's got 100% record, didn't it? Villa won all 3 games.
They did.
Because they started late.
Yeah, they started late.
Yeah, 4 games.
The game in hand, yeah.
Yeah, so Everton looking really, really good. Leeds got the 1-1 result with Man City again. Another good performance from Leeds. That was actually a mad game,
Yeah.
In terms of attacking football, it's like, how's this game 1-1? It's a madness. But City, you could say, I said it before, yeah. I don't know why City. I just feel that City need another striker, bro. I don't know. It's
150%.
Yeah,
I'm moving like chocolate hobnobs in tea, fam.
I can't believe. I don't understand how no striker can make a team like that play so. It's weird. It's like there should be enough quality in that side to still manage to get.
They need a striker, bro. They need a striker, bro.
It's bad.
When you got no striker, yeah. When you got no striker, remember when we had Torres and Etu and Demba, bro. Like you need a striker, fam. If you ever got a good striker, it's peak, fam. Because
I know he's more thinking of Barca, though, innit? He had his false 9 at Barca, innit? That's what he's more thinking of.
But his false 9 was Messi, though, right?
Everyone needs to pay attention to this guy, bro. Everyone needs to pay attention to Pep Guardiola, bro. I don't know, mate. He's on notice right now, bro. I think he's moving a bit. His tactics as well, yeah.
For a while, he's been moving a bit bad, fam.
He's moving a bit
bad for a while.
He's moving a bit
Remember when he tried, when he was at Bayern and he tried to drop Lewandowski to do his false 9 nonsense? That was one of the best strikers ever played the earth, fam. Pep's high, fam. Pep's high.
I'm going to say this there. I think Pep is a great coach. But then I think he just goes a bit too far, man. He's a great coach, but then he starts experimenting too much, bro. And
he's smart. So he did versus Leon.
Yeah, he needs to just allow it. You know what I mean? Just
that was crazy.
Just allow
Champions League semi-final when you decide to go 3 at the back, when you never play 3 at the back.
Yeah, man. So, and I'm just going to skim through the other results again. Once again, another win for Newcastle, St. Maxim. 2 goals for Harry for Wilson as well. West Ham, bro, the 3-0 win away to Leicester.
Man like Antonio,
yeah.
And Bowen, bro.
Are you watching how he's moving as a number 9, bro?
Yeah.
He's causing problems, bro. He's causing problems, bro.
That Bowen, he's alright, man. That Jared Bowen that they got.
Yeah,
Bowen's out the stadium, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You see, we're talking about Solskjaer watching Sky go on touchline, bro. Man's watching Sky go at home, David Moyes' blood, and getting 3-0 wins away, bro. So you know what I mean.
But don't you think as well, though? It's weird. Like this is a team that just put 5 past City, and you couldn't even get a goal at home. So West Ham, it's just mad what's going on at the moment. It's just weird what football's happening at football at the moment.
But Leicester proper changed their system for this West Ham game. But I heard it obviously it's because Maddison was injured or whatever.
Yeah, he's injury prone now.
He's injury prone, but there's some story behind that Maddison thing, by the way.
It I'm going Man United, man. Like,
Well, there's some story though. There's apparently there's a
bare
lot.
dreams.
I don't even think it's a dream thing. I think there was some discussion, bro. But anyway,
But where's he going to play? Even if he went to Man United, where would he play?
that's what I'm talking to you, bro. This club has
If he went to Man United,
no
then
direction.
if he went to Man United, they need to actually. And let me not say that because that would get us put in prison. But if he went to Man United, then yeah, there needs to be serious questions asked. But if he went to Man United, then there needs to be like they need to hold court, bro.
Yeah, there needs to be an inquest.
They need to hold court, bro.
Trust me, bro. Obviously, Arsenal beat Sheffield United 2-1. Saka and Pepe. Good goal by Pepe, by the way.
That was.
And then obviously the two outstanding fixtures of the weekend was Spurs putting 6 in the back of Man United's net and Villa putting 7 in the back of Liverpool's net as well. So yeah, it's been a crazy weekend of football.
Also, the straight red as well that I want to mention is the refereeing in the Spurs and United game. The VAR decision, sorry. For me personally, if Martial's gone, Lamela has to go. For me, Lamela has to go. How they was able to check that and see that nothing was wrong with what Lamela done, but Martial's reaction deemed off the pitch. Martial should have gone. Don't get me wrong, he should have gone, but Lamela has to go as well. Simple as that. What do you think about that side of the game? What do you lot think?
Then VAR, man, we know they're sniffing coke in that Stanley Park anyway. So I'm not surprised with any of the decisions they make. To be honest, I think, to be honest, I thought what Martial did wasn't even that. I know he was supposed to touch people's face, blah 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 blah. But it was like a little tap. Man's like, hands all on the floor, rolling. This, that. And it's after man's just elbowed him in the neck. Nonsense, to be honest. I don't really like Man United, but that was nonsense. That
was dumb. I wasn't happy.
These refs have lost their minds, man. And it'll always be something like this every week. The VAR, it's not doing its job. Only thing it ever worked for is offsides. Apart from that, it's a shambles.
Yeah, like I'm in agreement as well. I do think it was a bit of a stupid decision. However, like my views on it are kind of like I kind of don't care about it in it because I don't want it to be used as an excuse as to why we lost that game. I think we were getting opened up before the red card, isn't it? So that's why I've not really focused on it. If it was like a fair game and was really playing ball and then that happened, yeah, you would have seen some outrage. But I'm just looking at it like it's whatever. I think Martial needs to learn from that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Souness was saying, innit, when you're coming up and playing in the Latin League and all this and that.
Whoa. Hey, we don't want to have to give any disclaimers, bro. Like Sky Sports did.
yeah, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, true. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like there's like, there's you know how it is, isn't it?
That's how they play in them South American
leagues. Yeah, that's how they play
dirty,
and you've got to be. That's why when you play in Champions League football and stuff, you have to be clever. You know, you have to be clever. So yeah, I think Martial. I think that comes from frustration as well. I think he knew the team's playing kind of like he's playing washed in it. And for me, Martial, and just to kind of touch on Martial as well, like I think Martial is an absolute baller. Yeah, I think he's one of the best number 9s around in terms of his all-round game. But I honestly think he's that good because of himself. I think he just goes out there and he does his thing, and he's enjoying the way he's playing right now. And I just think he's frustrated because we're getting ripped. Yeah, and then obviously his brother's done whatever to his neck, and he's just Martial's a little bit rogue, isn't it? And he's done what he's done.
Yeah.
He needs to learn from that and just be a bit more mature moving forward, in my opinion. So yeah, man. And you know what? Someone said it to me earlier, and I'm sure they said it to us anyway in the group. But I think when everyone returns to international break, this is going to be some of the most anticipated games because just going back again, some of the highlight fixtures when we return are the first game on the return is Everton versus Liverpool.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Also, like I said, we said Man United are away to Newcastle. Another big game is Man City versus Arsenal. So yeah, when we return back from another tough game as well, was Chelsea Southampton.
Apprentice versus versus mentor.
It's also an apprentice, isn't it?
So it's a tough game. So yeah, when we return from international break, it's going to be a real tough one, man. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so if you've enjoyed the show, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of opinions and a lot of counter arguments to what we've been saying, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Yeah, this is listen, this is a channel for anyone to come and share their opinion, man. And once again, in the future, we may even invite people to come on who might have strong opinions and say something about their team or what they think about what's happening in the world of football as well. So watch this space. But yeah, once again, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, we're trying to build something over here. If you want to hear real fan opinion, come and follow the Straight Red channel, innit? Yeah, you've been watching Silent K, O Guns, also Deals. Yeah, peace out. Catch up soon, mate.